And now on the show, I want to take a look at one of the more interesting movies that has surfaced this year. It is called Boy Kills World, and it is the directional debut of Moritz Moore. And this is kind of a weird kind of action movie that will kind of take its audience by surprise. It centers around a deaf-mute character called Boy, played by Bill Skarsgård, who has, for years and years and years, been training with this shaman to, played by Yayan Ruhian, learning how to become a martial arts expert because he wants to get revenge on this family that kind of runs this dystopian world called the Van der Koys. Now, there's a day a year where the Van der Koys get the right to basically kill people that have been against them for the year. That day is fast approaching, and Boy wants to commit bloody revenge on that day. Now, there's Hilda Van der Koy, played by Famke Janssen. She's the matriarch of the family, but it does feel like this family is basically being run by Glenn Van der Koy, played by Charlotte Copley, Melanie Van der Koy, played by Michelle Dockery, and Gideon Van der Koy, played by Brett Gelman. Now, most of this family are idiots. Let's be honest. They stuff up when they speak in public. They turn on each other all the time, which ends up making each other look like idiots. But they are deadly, and they have this enforcer called June 27, played by Jessica Roth, that is just deadly. She will kill children, she will kill elderly people, she doesn't care. If she's ordered to get rid of someone, she will get rid of them. Now, at the start of this movie, Boy keeps on being told by the shaman that he's not ready, he's not ready, he's not ready. But then one day when they're out picking up supplies, he decides that it is time. And after witnessing another shameful act from the Van der Koys, which results in innocent people being killed, Boy decides that this is the day that he is going to get his revenge. Now, he's soon joined by Benny, played by Isaiah Mustafa, and Basho, played by Andrew Koji, who are resistance members. He soon is joined by them. But look, this is a ragtag team, and even with Boy's skills, you kind of wonder for most of this movie, are they going to survive? Are they going to get killed? Because these guys don't seem to be the brightest sparks either. And the fact that Boy can't talk to them or really communicate with them at all, that makes this task a whole lot harder. Now, this is one of the interesting elements of this movie, is that throughout the film, we hear the inner voice of Boy, in the same way that you would in a video game, in a way, because his last memory before getting revenge, before like the event that happened that's making him want to get revenge, was he was playing a video game with his sister, and he can remember the voice of that video game. So that's how he communicates, basically, in his mind to the audience, is through a video game voice. So that is an interesting element to this movie. The other interesting element to this movie is that it's very, very similar to The Hunger Games and The Purge in a sense. But the film does use comedy and action throughout. But I just think that this movie is not as well developed as it should have been. This is one of those movies that's kind of in my wheelpark. This is a film that as a lover of kind of 80s and 90s trashy action films, this film should have been a film that I was walking out of really, really excited from what I had just seen. But I just felt that this movie didn't develop the way that it should have. It does have that kind of B, C grade feel to it, which I like with a movie, but it just felt like the whole story itself wasn't developed in the way that it should have been. It felt like the screenplay should have been a lot better, that this world should have been built up in a better way. I didn't mind so much that the family that he's going after have got some dunces and dummies in the group, because I think that kind of added to the humor of the film. But The only thing that saved this movie from me from being a complete write-off was a twist. Now, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but there is a huge twist in this film that changes everything. And that, to me, was the only thing that saved this film, really. I thought that Bill Skarsgård was good in this film. It kind of gives me a little bit of hope for the new Crow movie that's coming out, where, of course, he's playing the Crow. And I thought Jessica Roth was good in this film as well. But, yeah, look, it's an interesting one because I kind of get the feeling that maybe this film would have worked a lot better if it had stuck to just being a dramatic action film. But then some of the comedy in this film actually worked really well as well. So I'm kind of torn on how you view this film and the way that it works. But look, it has got some creative kills in it, which, of course, everyone wants to see in an action movie like this. But it really is saved by the twist, I think. I think it's the twist that ends up saving this movie in the end. It is a pretty gory film, so if you don't like gory action and gory deaths, probably give this one a little bit of a wide berth. But look, I'm going to give it 2.5 out of 5. I'm going to give it a pass mark, but just because I thought this is a movie that could have been a hell of a lot better. But yeah, if you do like your films a little bit weirder and a little bit stranger, then you might want to check out Boy Kills World, but just 2.5 out of 5 for me. It does have a limited release, so make sure you check your local cinema guide to see where it is showing near you.